Hey everyone, my name is Daniel, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to use Copilot Studio's input variables. The reason I'm building this video is because input variable is one of the most underused features and often misunderstood. I'll walk you through step by step by adding a simple topic, and instead of you adding all these nodes, you focus your attention on the details and this input section. This is where you add those input variables, and by adding the right amount of them to making sure that they identify correctly and have the correct variable type, you can get so much done out of the box. So stick around, because after you know how to use these input variables, you will save yourself so much time, because instead of you building a detailed topic, the input variables can be utilized by the generative AI to do all the heavy lifting work. So stick around, this is so important. But first, here's my intro video. So before I walk you through how to add those input variables, let me show you what the finished product looks like, because you'll be very pleasantly surprised. So as an example, what I have over here is an agent that is basically the front-end agent that you use to schedule an appointment at your doctor's office, all right? Like a family practitioner, a physician. So here, the agent is actually going to ask you some questions. And let's read. The first thing it says, "Hello, I'm an appointment scheduler. How can I help you?" And so I am going to ask this type of questions, right? I say, "I think I'm coming down with something and hence need to schedule an appointment." So I go and hit enter, right? The first thing that it responds back is saying, "Could you please provide me the name of the doctor or physician for the appointment?" And so I'm going to respond back by saying, "Oh, I've been with Dr. Joe for as long as I can remember," and I go and hit enter. Next thing it does is, "Are you an existing patient or a new person?" You see, the questions that it's asking are very specific, all right? Keep that in mind. All right, so the response I'm going to give over here is, "I am an existing patient." Go ahead and hit enter. The next question it comes back with is, "What date would you like to schedule your appointment for?" Now, to really test this agent's capability, I'm going to go and say, "Next Friday works for me." Go ahead and hit enter. So now it's thinking, and it's going to come back with another prompt. It says, "Could you please provide your full name?" And the reason it's doing it is because this agent is on a public website. It's not internal, so it already doesn't know who I am, which is fine. So I'm going to mess with this agent just a little bit, and here's my response. I'm going to say, "Sure, my friends call me Dan, but my full name is Daniel Christian." Go ahead and enter, all right? Again, it's taking all this information, it's processing it, and now it comes back with this. It says, "Could you please provide your age to confirm if you're a minor or not? If you provide a year, for example, 2010, I can calculate your age for you." All right, so if it says that, I'm going to really test it. I'm going to come back by saying, "I was born in 2010. And actually, I was not born in 2010. But again, I'm testing the agent. So now it came back with this full summary. It says, "Appointment scheduled." It gave me my patient name, which is Daniel Christian. Doctor was Dr. Joe. Appointment type, specific illness, not a routine check. It went and captured the exact date, because remember, I didn't give it a date. I just said next Friday. It came back with the date, status, existing patient. It also went and grabbed the age. Remember, I just said 2010, but it did all the math in the back end. And then finally, it's giving me all of these instructions. Now, you will be very surprised how little work I did to achieve all of this. And this is all thanks to the input variable. So to save us some time, I just went ahead and provisioned this agent, all right? I've done nothing else. In fact, you can see the agent's name is also called Agent 1. So let's go and change that. I'll go ahead and call this as our appointment scheduler agent, and I'll go and click on save. So that way we can really get started, all right? This is a fresh one. What I want to focus our attention next is to go ahead and create a topic and focus on the input variables. So I'll just come over here to the topics, and I'll add a new topic from blank, and I'm going to call this one as ask questions. That's all I'm going to say, ask questions. That's it. Hit enter. And that is it. Like, I'm not going to add any other nodes over here. Where we're going to focus our attention is in this little hidden place. I come over here to details. See this topic details? Right next to it is called as input. And this is where we're going to spend some of time, is adding these input variables. So everything you just saw in the demo, yes, those were input variables that were added, and that's how we can achieve everything. So here we go. These are the set of input variables I'm going to add for my scenario, all right? The setting up the schedule for a family doctor. Now yours could be a little different, but get ideas from what I'm about to show you. Now remember, in our scenario, this was on a public facing website. So the first thing I wanted to know was what was the person's full name. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to go and say create variable. I'm going to change this name from var1 to var full name. And then after that, I'm going to leave it to dynamically fill with the best option, the variable type, that is string. Now it still shows var1, but if you just go click somewhere outside, it changed it automatically to the full name. Now identify as, it's important that you click over here because this will save you some work. So I'm going to click on the drop down, and these are all the entities that are already available. Now in my case, I've got full name as my variable, all right? So scroll down over here because there is an option, all right? Keep scrolling down, and you find something called as person name. This is where the generative AI is smart enough to go and extract the information from the conversation that the user gives. So I'll go and select this person name over here. And in the description, well, you have to put something over here because it's already giving us this red mark. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to say extract the person's full name from the user's response. All right, this is great. Now you have the option to save and go to something else, or you can add more variables right over here, one below it. And we need a few of them. All right, so let's continue. The next one is going to be var date. So I'm going to remove that var1 and I'm going to say var date. Again, dynamically fill with the best option. The variable data type, I'm going to change that. I'm going to actually click on that, and this is going to be of var date. Not so much as date and time. I'm going to say var date. All right. And then identify as, well, that's also of type date. So let's just go select that one. And then by default, it was smart enough to filter that into a date. Perfect, makes it easier for us. So I'll just go and select that and then go ahead and provide a description. And I'm trying to keep it very similar to what I have. So now I'm going to say extract the date when the user would like to schedule their appointment scheduler. All right. So this is good, but we have a few more of these type of inputs to add. So let's continue. And this is an important one because I need to know what type of appointment this is, all right? So I'm going to change this var to var appointment type because what I want to know is this is a routine checkup or is this something different? So the variable data type, that's going to be still string, but the identify as, that's going to be the user's entire response. So you got to select that. And in the description, I'm going to put this in. I'm going to say, identify what type of appointment the user has called in for. Is it a routine check or for a specific illness? All right. I'm trying to make it very descriptive over here because I can go up to 1024 characters. So I do have a little bit of limit, but at the same time, use that for your benefit and make it as descriptive as possible. All right, I just need to make sure I don't miss this because you see this variable name, I accidentally missed that. So I'm just going to grab it from this display name, highlight it, do a Control-C, come back over here, do a Control-V, all right? So this is good. So let's keep moving forward, all right? We have a few more questions for the input variable. Next, I'm going to go and click on Create a New Variable. I'm going to scroll down just a little bit, and this is going to be of var age, all right? That's the one that we need to know if the person is a minor or not. So for here, the string type, that will be of a type number. So I'm going to go and select on the drop down and I'm going to select number because there isn't anything specifically for age, but age are numerical values. Therefore, data type is number. So I selected that. Now identify as, there is something for age. And if I click on it, you see it does a really good job filtering it down to a numerical value. And on the top option, it is age. So it really did a good job over there. But also do your due diligence, give it a description. So this is what I'm going to put in. I'm going to say, get the age of the user to confirm if this is either a minor or not. And if the user provides a year, example 2010, then calculate their age and provide it in the summary, all right? So I'm giving it really good description over here. This is an important one, all right? The var age input. All right, let's keep moving forward. Now remember, one of the questions I had asked in my demo is if this was a new patient or an existing one. That's what this input is going to be about. So I'm going to call this as a var new or existing. That's what it is. All right. So I put that over here. I'm just going to click outside. So you see the display name also got updated. The variable data type for this one can remain as type string. So let me just scroll down a little bit more. And here in the identify as, it's going to be the entire user's response, because usually in this case, user will go and say, yes, I'm an existing patient, or no, I'm not. So you got to go and grab that entire response. And so therefore, this identifier as, the entity is going to be user's entire response. Go and select that one. And in the description, again, do your due diligence to make full use of this 1024 characters. So I'll paste this in saying, ask to confirm if the person is an existing patient or a new one. Okay, we got one more left, and that is to get the physician or the doctor's name. So I'm going to click on this create new variable. Let me just scroll down a little bit, remove that one into dr name. Go ahead and click outside. This variable also changed. This is going to be of type string, and this identify as, that is again going to be the person's name. Very similar to the one we did before, all right? I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to select the person's name right there. And then in the description, I'm going to say, try to extract the name of the doctor or the physician. Now I'm going to click on save. So we've taken care of all the input variables specifically in this topic, but I do have to tell the overall agent when to use this topic. And that we got to go back again into the overview place right over here. And then it says instructions, I'm going to give it, well, some instructions. This is what I'm going to say. When a user asks about scheduling an appointment, then route them to, and for that I want them to move to that topic. So I'm just going to put a little space, do a /, and I'm going to select this topic, the one that you and I just made. But remember, it's only the input variables in that topic. So I'm going to select that one. I'm going to put a period, space, and I want to put this rest of the instructions as well. Let's read it together. I'm saying, once all the information is provided, respond back with a summary. In closing, instruct them to do the following: either bring their existing medication or a list of, in case the doctor needs to know about it, arrive 15 minutes before their appointment, and then last, if they do need to cancel or reschedule this appointment, then do so 24 hours before this appointment, all right? So this is some additional instructions that I'm adding, but the important one is to make sure that the agent will route to the correct topic, and then in the end, provide a summary. That's the important instruction over here. So now I'm gonna go and click on save. But believe it or not, you are actually done, because this is basically all that it needed. I don't have to go ahead and make a complicated logic in that topic by adding some nodes and conditions. No, none of it. This is literally what we did. And so just as a quick validation, let's do a test over here. Just a quick update. If you wish to support my channel, you have two options. Go to my YouTube channel, click on join, and select any one of these membership options. Keep in mind, you can cancel it at any time. For a one-time payment, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/Dan Christian and select either 1, 5, or as many coffees as you like. Thank you for your support. And I'm going to do my best to answer it as similar to the demo I just showed you in the beginning. So here you go. The first thing that the agent is saying is, hello, I'm an appointment scheduler agent. How can I help? I'm going to say the exact same thing I did before. I says, I think I'm coming down with something and need to schedule an appointment. I'll go ahead and hit enter. It's generating the plan, which means it's validating, and it's coming back with this question. It says, could you please provide your full name? My response to that is, sure, my friends call me Dan, but my full name is Daniel Christian. Hit enter, processing it, comes back with the follow-up question, which is, what is your age or birth rate, to confirm if you're a minor or not? My response to that is, I was born in 2010. Processing that, follow-up question, what date would you like to schedule your appointment for? Response to that is, next Friday works for me. Hitting enter, it's processing it, gives me a follow-up question is, could you please provide the name of the doctor or physician for the appointment? My response to that is, oh, I've been with Dr. Joe for as long as I can remember. Hitting enter, it's processing that, comes back with, are you an existing patient or a new one? I'm going to say, I am an existing patient. Hit enter, processing all of this information in. And there you go. It has given us a full summary just the way we saw it in the demo. Isn't this awesome? It worked. So in closing, I want to share with you 2 tips, some lessons I learned when I was doing this demo. First one is when you created that topic and then used the details for creating the input variables, just leave it at that. Because when you start adding some subnodes to it, your agent starts to get a little confused. And second one is you are not limited to just one topic. You can add multiple topics, and for each of them, you can add multiple input variables. So it's almost as if you have to start rethinking how you're going to build these agents, because this input variable, fantastic functionality. So hopefully this video was useful to you and you can start to adopt this new technique for your future agents. And as always, keep using Copilot Studio. Hey everyone, my name is Daniel and I'm a community contributor focusing on all things AI related. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a like and leave a comment behind. I love reading the feedback you leave behind as it really helps me shape my future content. And if you want more content like this, subscribe and turn on notifications. So once again, thank you for watching this video and I'll see you in the next one.